Yo, what's up guys, it's Kurtis Fox YT here, back with another video, and at the minute I'm staring at Ellie, but I'm staring at my camera, but Ellie's on that screen where the camera is, so, yeah,
Yes.
hello! Anyway, we've got Premier League predictions today.
Oh,
Ellie's team in the Premier League.
unfortunately. As you can tell by the badge.
That's a shame. Anyway, my team is... So, this is going to be the first video of two. There's going to be the Premier League one and the Championship one. Championship, basically, Ellie's going to know everything and I will know nothing. Just the truth. Let me just move my camera a little bit to the left.
Anyway. You always say Championship's literally the most unpredictable league.
Yeah.
So
basically. Like, no one predicted Sunderland to go up.
Yeah. But hey, today's the Premier League one instead. We'll do the Championship next. So, yeah. So, Kurtis will pretty much go through what the rules are of this, pretty much.
So, basically, first we've got doing the table, which is the easy one. Then we have got, if I just move these, oh, never mind, I can't. We've got the player of the season, top goals, underrated team, golden glove, and best transfer. Right, let's get into the video. Elliot, you are first for deciding who comes first in the Prem. So...
Okay, I'm going to go with City.
Really?
I think they'll have a better season. Yeah, I think they'll have a better season next season.
With all the
mainly because Rodri's back.
After watching one pre-season game, he is rusty. Also, we are recording this literally just after the first Club World Cup game Man City has played. So, Rodri did play in that. He didn't play for long, but he played in it. He just looked a bit rusty. That's all I can say.
It happens, especially with the injury that he's sustained, which is one of the injuries that can also end your career depending the severity of it. But the fact that he's managed to come back early, he might be able, once he's gotten more warmed up with, you know, the schedules and training and stuff, I think he'll be back. Hopefully he'll be the same as he was, but as everyone really kind of like knows that sometimes you're not really the same player as you were when you've tore your ACL, but hopefully he'll be the same, or somewhat the same.
When watching that game, when Rodri was on the bench, Tajani Reinders looks really comfortable in that position. Properly comfortable. But our defence is awful still. So Pep obviously needs to sort that out. If that's not sorted out, it'll be the same as last season. But ain't Nori, got a left back. I think we need a right back as well, in my opinion. But that's whether he'll get a right back or not. Because Mateus Nunes is playing there. Now Rico got sent off. Yeah. For my first prediction, this is tough for me. Because I'm like, it's hard not to be biased. It just is. But I am going to put Man City. If I can type right. I'm trying not to be biased. I think Liverpool have made better signings. It's just whether they all gel together really quickly. Which I don't think will happen.
Especially when like the players that they signed, one's from a German. So Bundesliga and the Prem are completely like two different leagues. So it depends with Liverpool signings. It just depends how comfortable they get in and if they can pretty much play as how they've played before in the different leagues.
Right, so now we've done the winner. We will go in alphabetical order from now. So we'll start with Bournemouth now. Bournemouth had a really good season. They beat a lot of the top 6 teams. They beat us, I think it was twice in the league last season. It was twice or once. But I know they're a tough side, but they have lost Kurtis. Literally just happened today. They have lost Kurtis. They've already replaced him with Truffet, I think, from Lille, I think. They have replaced him, but it's whether it'll be the same, which I don't think it will be. So I think Bournemouth will finish 13th. I think they will finish. Only because I think they're the type of team to basically be good or bad. It just depends on what their team's looking like, because it always changes. Where are you planning to put Bournemouth?
I'm gonna place around, I'd say 13th.
The same, yeah?
Yeah, I feel like they will finish the same.
It's a tough one, though, because they can either finish higher or lower.
Yeah, I mean, where did they finish last season?
If we check on this, they finished 9th, which is actually really good for Bournemouth.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Top
I
10
know
finish
most of you
this
can't see that, by the way, because our face cams are in the way, but it is there. They finished on 56 points with a 12-plus goal difference, which was quite good. So, next team is Arsenal. This is a really, really tough one, because they still have not got a striker. Still. I don't know what's going on with their striker situation at the minute. They are basically looking at Sesko, Gyökeres. I was looking at Isaac at one point, and they've still not got one.
Yeah.
They have signed Zubamendi, if I'm correct. I know Real Madrid were interested in him as well, but I think they are getting Zubamendi, which is a very good signing. But apart from that, I have no idea where they're going to finish. It's that type of team.
I think they could possibly finish either 3rd or 4th next season.
I'm going to say 4th.
Yeah.
Because it's very easy to say that that didn't work. It's very easy to say basically that they could finish somewhere else. But you could say they're high up.
Yeah.
I'm going to change it to 3rd. That was a weird. Yeah, ignore that. I can't spell to save my life.
Yeah, it's EMAL.
Yeah, I know. I just forgot the E. Where are you putting them? 4th or 3rd?
3rd. I think they'll finish 3rd.
Yeah. Right, who have we got next? We have
Villa.
Aston Villa. Right, them last season, really, really good. They finished 6th.
Yeah.
But they was playing Champions League as well. I think finishing 6th means they get Europa League.
Yeah, it does.
Which, well, it depends on the Europa League. Basically, I think if they have enough squad depth, obviously they've lost Rashford. Rashford's not staying. So that's a big blow for them because he did really well. I think it depends on who they sign. If we look now, their squad, obviously they've got Martinez, who's apparently leaving, which is a really, really big blow. He wants to leave. So him leaving means they need a goalkeeper, who they've not signed yet. I think Matty Cash is just a bit iffy at right back. He's up and down, especially when they played PSG last season. They've got amazing centre backs. They've got 2 good left backs, decent if left backs anyway. They've got Maatsen, obviously, young player, great last season. Ross Barkley, Tielemans, Onana, Kamara, Asensio, who was on loan, I think he was. I don't know if they've signed him permanent or not. But if they do get him permanent, that's an amazing signing. Obviously, ex-Real Madrid, ex-PSG.
Yep.
Top signing that. Morgan Rogers, obviously great last season. Marlon, great. Leon Bailey was a bit injury prone, I think. John McGinn, obviously the captain, so great player. Rashford, obviously not there anymore. Jacob Ramsey and Watkins. I think they need a striker because they have lost Durand halfway through last season. I think it depends on their squad, but I am going to put them 7th.
Yeah.
only because I don't think they'll have enough squad depth because they've got Europa League. But if it works as it worked last season, 7th might be Europa League, depending on what happens. So we'll find out that. Where are you planning to put them?
I think I'm going to go with one below, so 8th. I think
they've got a good team. It's just if they can keep it up because they've got Europa League. Europa Leagues, you do rotate in the Europa League sometimes, especially the big teams. They rotate like crazy, apart from United. And some teams in the Europa, depending on who's in the Europa League, because obviously at the minute, Crystal Palace don't know if they're in the Europa League or not because of Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
If you know about that situation, I'll go through it quickly. Basically, they won the FA Cup, but some of part owners of Crystal Palace own Lyon as well, which means both of them cannot be in the Europa League, but they are. So Forest have complained and no one knows what's going on yet. So Palace, I think, depends, but we'll get to that. The next team
is Brentford.
Yeah. They've lost Thomas Frank.
Yeah.
Huge loss. And apparently they're going to lose Mbuemo as well. Maybe he's going to United. I don't know. Apparently.
Yep.
But that is a really, really big blow
for
Brentford. If we look at their team...
Big blow, yeah.
We look at their team. They haven't got Flecken anymore at goalkeeper. Because he has been sold, I think. Which is a big blow as well. Flecken was amazing last season. I think he had the most save percentage in the Premier League. So that is a really big blow for them. Obviously, they've got loads of centre-backs. Saying that, Ben Mee, Pinnock, late 30s, probably needs another centre-back. They've got Rico Henry, good left-back. They've got loads of good players, but if they lose this guy, Mbuemo, I think they'll struggle.
100%, because he's probably one of their top-notch players, to be fair.
Depending on who their manager's going to be. Oh.
I'm really intrigued.
I don't know who their manager's going to be yet. But depending on that, I think they're going to be near the bottom.
Yeah, same.
So I am going to put them 16th. I know that's a really big shout, but if they don't replace them big players, the players what turn up for them, I think they're going to really struggle.
Yeah.
Your turn?
I think I finished 17th, I think. So pretty much one under. Okay.
I think they are going to struggle. I think other teams in this league will do alright. But next up is Brighton. Brighton.
They are a really decent team when, you know, they're on it like a car bonnet.
They finished 8th last season. Which, they have kept the manager. I think he's a great manager. Which really helps.
They can be a great team though, can't they?
Yeah, they've got a really good squad.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've got Hertzler as manager. I think they need to improve in a little. They are getting a Greek striker, actually. I forgot his name. Yeah. I'm probably going to pronounce this wrong, but Kostalas. Kostalas is 18 years old, and he's a really high-rated Greek striker. He's really up there.
He's worth 4.5 million euros as well.
But they have got a couple of strikers. They've got Pedro, who might be actually going, which makes sense. They've got Ruter. They've got, if he comes back, they've got Ferguson from West Ham coming back, who's a really young player and really good potential. So they've still got Danny Welbeck as well. Matoma's linked to Bayern Munich. So, depending on what signings they make to replace them all, Brighton are the team normally who helps a lot with it. So, Brighton, I've got a feeling they'll finish mid-table.
Yeah.
There's a lot of really good teams who can finish high. It's just whether they will or not. So I'm going to put 9th. Only because, well, we'll see. And I've put that on you by accident. But where do you think they'll finish?
I think they'll finish just above Villa, I think.
7th.
So 7th.
I think it depends if they replace João Pedro properly. I know they've just signed a young striker, but he's not proven. He was playing in the Greek league. So, it's a bit of a risk. Right, so, next we have Burnley. Here's one where I think will really, really struggle. They've lost probably one of the best centre-backs who played last season, Egan Riley. He's gone to Marseille. Burnley, I swear, had one of the best defences last season. Obviously, it was in the Championship, so you would know about this.
Yeah, it was pain.
They probably had one of the best defences.
I think they did beat us quite badly, but I can't really remember because it was obviously last season. But
And
they were a pain to play against.
Also, they've got Tottenham first game. So, I think they'll finish 19th.
Yeah, I say somewhere in the relegation, you know.
Where are you going to say in the relegation zone?
18th.
I've got a feeling they will really struggle. But they have got a good few wingers. They've got Edwards, who they signed from Sporting. I think he was on loan, so I don't know if they've still got him. But he was a good player. Next is Chelsea.
Yep.
Right. This is a tough one. The amount of signings they make makes it hard. Because it's whether they work. Yeah. I have no clue where to put them. It's one of them.
I reckon. Where do they finish?
They finished fourth, but it was a scrap at the end for 4th place last season. We were fighting.
Yeah,
they were fighting. Newcastle, Aston Villa, Forest. All were fighting for that spot.
I think they'll either finish mid-table, but I think about even maybe 5th or 6th, maybe.
It's one of them. They could finish low, they could finish high. I am going to make a shout. I'm going to say 5th. But it depends how good they do in the Europa League. Nope, not the Europa League, the Champions League. Because that does take it out of place. Obviously, they've got a huge amount of players. It's just whether they will get the game time to be happy enough at Chelsea.
Yeah.
Where are you thinking?
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with the same. I think they'll finish 5th.
Next up's Crystal Palace. Now it's back to the point of the Europa League.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. Because they made Europa League.
Yeah.
Right, Crystal Palace, their teams, they've got a great manager. I think he's a great manager. He beat us in the FA Cup. Fair play. It's just depending on whether they're going to be in the Europa League because of what's going on. Because we don't know that, it's really hard to predict where they're going to be. Because, yes, they have the squad strength just to be in the Prem. But if they're in the Europa League, they don't, in my opinion. So, it's hard to say where they're going to finish because you don't know what they're going to be doing. And as recording this, we have no clue. Adam Wharton, mint player as well. They've got Eze still. They've got Nketiah and Mateta, who I think Mateta is probably one of the best strikers I've seen for Palace. Ismail Assar, rapid, great player. Just depends. I think they finished 12th last season, but winning the FA Cup made it look a lot better.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be mid-table, and I think they'll be 14th.
That's nice.
I think they'll be 14th.
You know, it'd be funny is that see how many people can comment how many times like he's tried to write on my table when he's.
Yeah, please don't finger. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Where do you think Palace will finish?
Where have you put him?
14th.
I'm going to go with 15th.
15th is a shout. Right, next up, Everton. This is another tough one. Because they have a new manager. Well, new manager. Obviously, he's been there before, David Moyes. Up in the Scotland. It's whether this team will gel. Because I know they've got, like, look, Tarkowski, Branthwaite injured. Mangala injured. Lindstrom injured. Already, and the season's not even started. Obviously, they might be back. But you never know. Ndai played amazing last season for Everton, even when they didn't have David Moyes. It's one of them teams where if you can get it to gel, great team. But it's whether they can keep it up. I think they will finish 12th.
Decent shot, that.
Obviously, they're in the new stadium as well, so it's getting used to that as well.
Yeah, that is as well.
Where are you planning?
I think they will finish 11th, I think. It's a shout, but I think they'll finish there.
Yeah. Right, Fulham up next, and they finished 11th last season. Probably one of the more tougher teams. I know the 11th doesn't look great, but they was one of the hardest teams to come up against, especially away. Because their team, when it's perfectly running, they play really good football. And you can see that when you watch them. Their goal difference was dead on 0. Which is actually crazy. So, obviously, I think it'll be a similar position as that last season. I think they'll be 11th. Just because it looks that way. And their team's strong, not that strong. It depends.
Yeah.
Where are you planning?
I'm going to say 10th.
I would say close to 10th.
Yeah.
It looked like that. Right, a promoted team next. Leeds United. Now, I have a feeling. It is a very big feeling that they... I'm like building it up for everything here. That they will be close to the relegation. Bet you didn't think I'd say that. I think they'll survive. And I'm just going to put it in right now. I think they'll finish 17th. Any takes on that?
I don't know, but they're a very good team of going up and then coming straight down the season after.
I'm hopefully hoping someone stays up this time.
I think they'll finish 18th.
Sadly. Sadly. You can change it if you want. You can change them round.
Nah, I'll say 19th.
I think Burnley are worse, but that's my opinion. I think Leeds have a really good team. They finished first, didn't they?
They finished first in the league with like over 102 points, but like I said before, they have a very good tendency of being promoted and then having a really bad season and then getting relegated. But they also have a tendency of staying up 2 seasons and then coming back down the season, and then
Yeah.
they just go straight back up. It's more of ping pong with them,
Ping pong.
to be fair.
Ping pong.
Literally, it literally is.
Right, we've got Reece and Jay's team next.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Liverpool. I'm just going to go ahead and put it in already because I don't want to say it. Yeah. I think that, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, same. I think they'll finish a good solid second.
I think they've got a really good shout for first. That's all I'm going to say about it.
They have got a good team. They have a really good team to be able to get into first. You got the likes of Salah, the recent signings that they got. The monks of Wirtz and everything, but it depends how settled in the new signings are and how well they play.
Also, they need a striker.
Yeah, and
Nunes
also
is going. There's hints of Diaz going, Jota going. There's a few what are going as well.
Yeah.
So it's about replacing them, but getting it to gel.
Yeah, the second choice keeper's going, Keller's going.
But they have got two good goalkeepers now, Mamardashvili and Alisson.
Yeah.
So that is a tough one, but I still think they'll finish second.
Yeah.
And Manchester United next. Right. I know I'm a City fan, but I'm not going to be biased. It might look like I'm being biased, but they finished 15th last season.
Yep.
Their team is horrific at the minute. They just do not gel. It's either the team not gelling, might be the dressing room, the manager's tactics not working. Amrim's tactics are not proven in the Premier League. It's just a fact now. It's been proved by half that season. He gained less points than, was it Ten Hag? I think it was Ten Hag.
Yeah.
He gained less points than Ten Hag. And he had half a season as well. Ten Hag had more points in that half a season.
Yeah.
So I think his tactics are useless. If he doesn't change them next season, it's just going to happen again, and he'll get sacked.
Yeah.
He
They'll
did
probably finish towards the lower side of the table.
when he was at Sporting. Them players who played for Sporting knew what them tactics were doing it straight on, and they battered us. But since it's United, they've not got the players in the right position. Bruno Fernandes looks fed up. That's why there was hints of him leaving this season. He's supposed to stay now. It depends if they change the tactics or not. We won't know that till the league. And they're apparently getting Mbuemo as well. I've heard Rashford might be going to Barcelona, which I think is a bit weird because I don't think he'll start.
And obviously links that Emi Martinez is going to be the next goalkeeper instead of Anana as well.
Yeah, which is a bit of an issue. Because it depends if they get him or not. Because will Martinez want to go to United with no European competitions when Aston Villa do have it? Probably not.
So.
It's just that, and it's going to be hard to try and get the players to go to United now because they have no European football. Because they lost the Europa League. It's one of them. Which I think's a bit odd. But I do think they'll have a better season. It's just, I don't think they'll get competitions again. I think they'll finish 10th. Not being biased, I'm saying they'll do better than last season. The tactics might work. It depends if he changes them or not and gets the right players for them tactics, but I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're looking at another striker as well. They're interested in Gyökeres. But they've already got two strikers, Xerxes and Højlund. So before they get a striker, they have to sort them two out. Because you can't have three strikers who all want to play. It just won't work. And that's a lot of money on wages as well.
100%.
Where do you think they'll finish?
I think they'll finish 12th.
Well,
for being honest. I think they'll have a better season, but again, like we said, it depends if the tactics change. If the tactics are completely the same, then they could go for a bad season.
I think it just all depends on if they get the right signings for that tactic. If he doesn't
And I'm
change the
pretty
tactics,
sure, as well, at some point of the season, I swear, like, someone said that they were mathematically, like, safe from relegation at one point.
yeah, they was.
Towards the
But if they
season.
wasn't, it would have been very, very close. Which that was the
Yeah.
risk. Um. So they
But yeah.
weren't playing for anything. I think they was just playing for the Europa League at that point, and they still lost it.
Yeah.
So and they lost it to an English team who was literally next to him in the league, who we will come to soon.
Yeah.
But
Next is
yeah,
Newcastle.
next is Newcastle. Newcastle. Have got Champions League football again. I know they finished 5th, but they've got Champions League football.
They also won, what was it, the Carabao Cup?
Yeah, against Liverpool as well. Speaking of
Yep.
Liverpool are interested in Isaac at the minute. Don't know if that's going to happen because he's an expensive player.
Yep.
And that depends if he wants to leave because he has got Champions League football as well. Newcastle have got the team for Champions League football. And they're interested in Guehi again from Crystal Palace. But it's whether they lose some of them players which will be the worry about it. But I think I'm just going to put them in right now because I think they won't qualify for Champions League next season, but they will get close. Like the season before when they had Champions League football, they struggled in the league a little bit. But I think she'll finish in Europa League at least. Over to you.
I think they'll probably finish in 6th. Pretty much. I think it's the same place that you put them at.
I put them in 6th, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's...
I think they'll finish 6th. They'll have a solid season, I think.
Especially if Eddie Howe keeps the way he's going. Great manager.
100%, yeah.
Up next is Nottingham Forest. This is the most toughest one.
Yep.
Because their owners had a paddy at the end of the game.
Yep.
Because they didn't finish in Champions League. And they still finished 7th. They've still got Conference League. But Conference League is a rotation competition. Chelsea saw that. Apart from the final.
Yep.
It's kind of a rotation competition till near the end. And it depends if they keep all their players. Which we don't know anything about their players really. At the minute. Morgan Gibbs-White. Ola Aina. We've been linked to Aina. Not recently, but we have been linked to him before. There's obviously... what's that centre-back? Murillo, who's a really young centre-back. Brazilian centre-back who was amazing last season. People might come in for him. Gibbs-White, obviously the captain. Hudson-Odoi. Also Alanga. They've just signed Joel Ndala, ex-Manchester City player, as a nice winger for them as well. Obviously Chris Wood, which I think's getting a bit old now. He will get injured, most likely, next season. So I think they will need another striker. They've got Emmanuel Dennis as well, but he's not that proven. I did play for Watford in the Prem, I think. I think he played for Watford in the Prem. But I don't think he did that well. So I think they will need a striker. If they don't get a striker, I think they'll still struggle. But
Yeah.
I think they will finish. This is a tough one now. I think it's just a really tough one. Looking at the teams left. Sunderland, Tottenham, West Ham, Wolves.
Yeah.
I think they will finish 8th. Over to you.
I think they'll finish 9th.
Which I think's a good shout as well.
Yeah.
Next is Sunderland. Now, I'm sorry to say it, but they have lost Bellingham's brother. The better Bellingham. Joking. But he plays the exact same way. It's hilarious. I'm sad to say it, but I don't think they've got a chance. I love to see them back in the Prem though. It's great to see them back, but I don't think they have any chance. It's the type of thing where it'll be up and down. And I think when they go down, they won't come back up again.
Probably for another couple of seasons, you know.
Yeah, over to you,
I'm going to say the same.
Yeah. Sunderland. Right. Next up, Tottenham. Now, I've left one position for Tottenham. Can you guess which one?
15th?
No.
18th?
No.
4th?
Yes.
You think they're going to finish 4th?
I think Thomas Frank is one of the best managers they could have got.
True.
Give him a bit of time at the start of the season, it might be slow. But a bit of time, if Heung-min Son stays, they will finish 4th. I think they've got a really good team. They just didn't gel with Postecoglou's tactics. Yes, they won the Europa League. They're in the Champions League as well. Let's not forget that. But I think they'll finish 4th with Thomas Frank. I really rate him as a manager, and I know Pep Guardiola does as well. So over to you, Ellie.
You know what? I've only got 3 spaces left. 4.
I'll give you the teams left. Tottenham, West Ham, Wolves.
Yeah, I think they'll finish 4th.
I think Thomas Frank's a really good manager.
100%. I mean, look what he did with, Brentford.
It's just whether he can get that team to gel. If it gels, 4th place easily. It'll be competing with Chelsea and Newcastle. Easily, 100%.
Hopefully we'll see Tottenham back up the top flights of the Prem again.
Next is West Ham. They're the type of team always to stay up. Obviously, they've released Mikel Antonio. But there's a feeling with that. He's still staying there to get rehab. Congratulations to West Ham, because I think that's a great thing to do. But he is a free agent. I don't know if they're keeping Evan Ferguson or not. I just couldn't tell you. They finished 14th last season. Their squad's really, really good. Apparently, Tottenham are interested in Mohamed Kudus. Same with Chelsea, but Chelsea are linked with everyone. West Ham have the team to finish really, really high up. But I don't think they will. They have a chance to really finish in the top 6 to 10. But I don't think they will, because of the players they're competing with. So, that's where I am going to put them.
Yeah.
This is basically like more of a podcast video. So if anyone wants to see more of these, please just put it down, because this will be uploaded raw. There'll be no editing apart from the little cuts. That's it. So, please leave a like if you like this. Ellie, you've got 2 spots left, 14th and 16th. Where are you putting West Ham?
14th.
I would say they're going to be around there.
Yeah.
And the last is Wolves. I'll just put them in now. I think, because of the players they have lost, I think they'll get relegated. Yeah. I think they will really, really struggle. And the goalkeepers, obviously they've got Jose Sarr. He's getting on a little bit now. They've got Mark Doherty still, old player now. They've got some good young centre-backs, like Mosquera, but he's injured still till mid-August. So he might not even start the season. They've got some good young players. They've still got Gomez in midfield, João Gomez, who I think's end up going to leave this season, because he's a really good player. They've lost Mateus Cunha, which is a really big blow for them. I know he's a psychopath. He's gone to United. It's whether he will start for United. They've got Bellegarde, they've got Sarabia, who's a good player as well. They've got Strand Larsen, who had a big blow up near the end of the season. Really good player, 25 years old still. Plays with Haaland as well for the national team. Can learn off him. And Gonzalo Guedes as well. They do need some players to reinforce it, but I don't think they will be able to. So I think they will get relegated. Which is a bit of a shame, because I like Wolves. But I really think they'll be relegated. And looking at your table, is there anything you would want to change?
No, I'm just going to stick with it.
I'm sticking with mine. So, next is Player of the Season. Now, this is a tough one. Because we don't know who's going to make what signings. And it could literally be anyone.
Yeah.
Last season, it was Salah.
Yeah.
I think that was pretty obvious. If it lets me type, that would be amazing. Obviously, we've lost De Bruyne, so got no chance in that. Haaland, I think he'll struggle a little bit this season for score as much as he did. Obviously, most of his goals were from De Bruyne, so it's whether Cherky and all the rest of the players can help him do that again. I've got a feeling Marmoush will be our top scorer this season.
Yeah, he probably will be.
I feel bad for Haaland about it, but Marmoush is the type of player who takes people on, gets into the right position. He can do both. And he'll play a lot this season, especially that goal at the end of the season last season. It ended up getting the goal of the season, which was stupid for the second to last game.
Oh yeah, that was stupid.
The knuckleball on it though.
It just goes, what?
Yeah. But last season, I think top scorer was Salah, most assists was Salah, goals and assists was Salah, foot mob rating was Salah. I think we know where this is going, don't we?
I think it's going to have to be Salah. I think.
I would put Haaland, but I don't think it's going to happen. Isaac's a really good shout as well.
Yeah.
But I don't think it will be.
I reckon it'll be Salah because he'll probably just have another ridiculous season.
I think he'll have another ridiculous season and then slow down a bit.
Yeah.
Top goal scorer next season. I'm just going to put mine down straight away. I know it's a shout. If he stays at Newcastle, 1,000,000% he'll be top scorer. If he goes to Liverpool, he probably still will be top goal scorer.
I would say on my half, Marmoush does desperately does have a chance of being top goal scorer. But you've also got the likes of Isak, you got the likes of Salah.
Yeah.
It depends. But I'm gonna go with someone different, and I think I'm just gonna stick with Marmoush. And just hope he has a decent season. Especially after the goals he's been scoring.
I hope I've spelled that right. I think it's an A. I'm just going to make sure. Oh, it's an O. There we go.
There we go.
Golden Glove. This is a tough one as well.
Very.
Because will Alisson start every single game? Probably not.
Probably not.
And I think it's going to be a really tough one. Ederson's a shout again.
Who won it last year? David Raya. Okay. Oh. God. Yeah. So
I
it's
think
Raya then.
this was David Raya because
Yeah.
he's conceded the less goals. But I'm going to put Edison.
Hmm.
That's if we win the league and get a good defence.
Yeah. Think I'm going to go with the same, I think. I think Edison will most likely have a good season.
I
He is a
think he'll
good
have a
goalkeeper.
good season, but his last season.
Yeah,
So I
it
think he'll
could be
try
his
and
last
show
season.
up for it.
He is a good goalkeeper. He is like Golden Glove worthy.
He's got the record
But
for most assists now as well.
yep.
Underrated team. But looking at our league, it's kind of a tough one.
With saying that we've put Tottenham 4 in the way that they finished, we could shout that they could be the underrated team. But you never know. Anyone could actually be the underrated team at this point. So thinking of the 3 teams that have been promoted, so Leeds, Sunderland, and was it Burnley?
I
I
don't
don't
think it
think any of them.
necessarily needs to be someone in the top half. I think it's just an improvement of what they had.
Yeah.
I will say mine.
Everton.
Because I've put them 11th. No, I put them 12th, but I still think they will do well.
I think I'm gonna go with I don't know who to go with. I'm gonna go with West Ham. Because even though that we've gone down the lower half, well, not really the lower half, but like more of the midish table, they could finish higher, but it depends on the season really. Whether their players like show
Their
up.
team is a really, really good, solid team. It's just whether they can make that team gel properly.
100%.
And they could be a top 4 team with them players. They've got
If
Professor.
every player like plays together, the tactics are set right, we should have a top season.
1,000,000%. Best transfer.
Um, so these are all the ones. I'm going to go with a really big shout, and I'm going to go with Delap. Only because he had a decent season at Ipswich, even though that they got relegated, and he's going to Chelsea
X-Man City.
and Stoke. And everyone also knows his dad is Rory. But I think he'll have a decent season at Chelsea, but it kind of depends if he starts and gets the minutes.
Looking through most of these, obviously that one's a huge one. A huge loss. Another one I want to give a shout of is Kosalos, or whatever his name is. I think he'll do well at Brighton. I think he's a bit too young to have a good season yet. But if he starts a few games, I think he'll do really well. There's... Who else did I see? Kelleher from Liverpool to Brentford. Amazing goalkeeper. He will start for Brentford 100%. And I think he could have a shout in doing what Flecken did at Brentford. It's just whether they can stay up. Because I think they'll struggle.
Yeah.
Nori, I think he needs a couple of seasons yet. Matthias Tell from Bayern to Tottenham. Obviously he had that loan spell, but I don't think he'll do anything. Liam Delap's a really good shout for it. Cherky as well. Reinders, Frimpong. Cunha, I don't think he'll do anything great. I think he might do some good stuff, but other than that, yeah. Wirtz, obviously, he's not on here yet, but at Liverpool, he's a good shout. But I think my one will be Reinders. Because seeing him in the first game he's played, he has control of that midfield. And that's why he probably got voted the best midfielder in Serie A last season. You can see that he knows that position.
Yeah.
And him and Rodri next to each other.
It's going to be fine.
It might be a bit overpowered. I think he's a really good signing for 50 mil euros as well. It's a really cheap bargain. One thing I would like to mention as well, Kyle Walker is linked to Everton as well. So that's why I've put them as an underrated team.
Yeah.
But not just because of Walker, because their team was doing well at the end of that season.
Mm-hmm.
I like the fact Trent Alexander-Arnold was 10 million fee just to sign him for free. That's a bit crazy. I think for what we've paid for Reinders, Cherky, Nori, really good. Cherky will need a bit of time. Obviously, still only 22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'll be Reinders. Let's just make sure I can spell this completely properly. Because it's a bit...
Yeah. Yeah, it was that, and then...
I think that's wrong. There's an N.
And there's D in there.
Yeah. There we go. So, this has been the Prem predictions.
Yep.
I think it's going to be a long video, but I think people will like the podcast of it. I think it'll be about an hour and a half, which is actually a bit crazy. Probably one of the longest videos I've done.
Literally. But also, don't forget to comment if you want more podcast style videos as well that we can do, because we can do anything we can do, like talking about football, we can talk about anything. So, yeah.
We could talk about funny
like,
stories.
Yeah, we could even talk about, you know, latest football action, etc. So, yeah.
There will be another video on the Championship. My voice is starting to go. I need a drink. I've been talking for about an hour and a half. But apart from that, don't forget to check out Ellie's channel. Link will be in the description. Videos coming soon as well, because I know that because I'm editing them.
Yeah.
And new Minecraft series coming soon. A little sneak peek on that. I might put a little sneaky bit in that.
Little trailer.
Or in this video, you never know. Look out for that. I probably won't do it now I've said it. Just to wind you all up. It's quite funny. Cliffhanger. Anyway, a Championship video will be soon as well. I know the Championship starts a little bit later. No, it starts earlier actually, but the fixtures are out a little bit later. So when the fixtures are out, we'll make the video. Because
I know that my team, Stoke, our fixtures are out next week. So yeah.
Hopefully.
week on Thursday.
Thursday.
So yeah, so we'll jump on that, and we'll probably predict as well with that as how many they'll win.
12. If I said that in this video now and it actually happened, I'll laugh.
Probably will, because we had a terrible season last season.
How many
but I'm
wins did you get
hoping
last season?
A few.
A few. Anyway, enough of that. Don't forget to we'll do that in the other video. Before we start going on. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, please. I'm trying to hit 100 subs by the end of this seat. I've just seen Ellie sink. That was awkward. I'm trying to hit 100 subs by the end of this year. Please, I'm on 82. I've gone up like 10 already this year, which is great, and thanks for the support. Don't forget, leave a like, subscribe, comment on the video, share it if you can. Trying to hit 100 subs by the end of the year. Please help me to that, because I'm trying my best. I'm trying to upload every week. Obviously, I'm not uploading every week, but I do have other stuff in life, obviously. But I'll see you in the next one.